Well, hello, everybody. I guess I'm live now, a little late, but it's gonna happen. It's called life. It's called I don't know what I'm doing really, and I'm kind of learning this stuff as I'm going. But thank you for popping on. Oh snap! See, I'm watching what you do. I got two computers here. I don't trust you. I mean, I trust you a little bit. Thank you for popping on. Touch a little. So we're gonna make sure I have everything closed. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Bam. That's what was doing it. I had a window here and I had a window there. I have windows everywhere. I have windows everywhere on you. um, again, thank you for popping back on. This is part two. This is four, but two of my Stuttering John interview. Had a lot of fun with him, and I thank him very much for coming on and giving me his time. This is regarding the interview the incident between Kevin Brennan and the Mathew Perry family estate, if you will. The words that he said after Perry died. I tried to do a story with Brennan. Well, I did with John and Brennan. John was nice enough to give me time, and again, I thank him for it. Brennan, not so much. I had a super chat to get a response from him. He did give me comments via super chat, and they weren't very nice, but neither is he. Regardless, they were very entertaining. Everybody's entertaining, so let's all have fun with this. And here we go. So I want to get this interview rolling. I think I have us close enough to where it needs to be. I know I got us plus a little bit behind on the interview. Let's go to the 23rd minute of it. Where did I lose you? And I found you. And I did not find you. And then I did. Okay, so we're going to do the 23 minutes. Let's pull it back a tiny bit. To about here, and then we'll get rolling from there. Oh, did I go to the right place? Yes, I did. Oh, and Carlos Danger subscribed to me. So hi to you, and thank you. You are one of my favorites too. This is what I really like about this Devilverse as little characters and stuff, and being able to talk with them is enjoyable. So you're enjoyable. Thank you for making this enjoyable. So let's not make it ugly if we don't have to. So here we go. In that sector, and then listening to Dick Masterson, who then got me listening to Carl, who then got me listening to you. So it kind of makes its way all the way around. I think I kind of just go natural. They have kind of made a cottage industry on giving you a hard time. I can't imagine how much money they've made in the past and that they're still making. How did this happen? How did this come to be? Where did this anger between you and Shuli and Carl come from?
Not from me. Not from me. You think I know who Carl Heberger is?
Yes.
I mean, the guy's never done anything of any significance in the entertainment industry. I didn't know who he was, and it's just me and my producer Royce were doing a show. Carl had this Who Are These podcasts where he reviews a podcast. He reviewed.
Oh, okay. So, and I want to kind of set this up a little bit too. Sorry for stopping it right there if you're kind of getting into a groove feeling. I'm trying to get to where this all came from, where this hatred, where this monstrous world of, posting each other's family members with cancer, going after children, like how this has gone to where it's at, why it's at. And that's kind of what I asked John. We're kind of past the Brennan stuff. He may bring it up again a little bit later, but this again is more about the Carl Shuli verse. So let it go from there. So you understand what's going on here.
My podcast, I mistakenly was like, Royce, how could he play clips of our show? I mean, I didn't know what fair use was. Okay. Because I reacted negatively, he then said, ooh, I picked a scab that I can keep picking. He realized I'm Googled over 7 million times, and he decided to just, I can make money doing it.
So it wasn't anything that John said or did or his history or anything he's done in the past or anything like that. It was, the guy was Googled 7 million times. That's exactly why we hate you or we want to get this attention from you. No, you did nothing on your own. It was just Carl who was the monster out there. I mean, I get maybe he did start, messing with you, but how you handled it from there is where we're at now and why we're here. So, wow, like I'm scolding John. Sorry, but I don't know. I got to make it transformative.
Doing this. And then he started doing it. And then Shuli started. Shuli asked him if he could do it too. And as Carl says, because I was doing a show every day, there was plenty of Stuttering John to go around. So Carl said, sure. But then Shuli decided to do it twice a day and ran it into the fucking ground. And like, it's really getting fucking ridiculous. And now,
I get like running it into the ground and stuff like that, but if you're making money with it and it's profitable and it's bringing audiences together, I mean, I got to there from Carl to Shuli to you. I guess you're kind of all around, but I don't see them running it into the ground is kind of relative. If you have something that works for you and you work it in your hustle, then it's your hustle. If it's at your expense, I get that as well. But again, you make them the content, John, just by being you. And instead of, coming clean and chilling, just taking it, rolling with it, it just explodes and it turns into more. You roll this ball down a hill and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes. It's your ball. And I guess that's cool. But when it hits something and all heck breaks loose, they're going to be mad at you, and then you're going to get disdainment and people are going to be upset. And then you're going to be, why are they mad at me? So here we go.
This is how nefarious it's getting. Carl and Shuli both contacted this guy on Twitter. His name is Muttering Jay.
I've seen that guy, yeah.
All right. So Shuli had one of his...
Yeah, Muttering Jay, kind of a trip. I've interacted with him a little bit. It's always been kind of positive, or he may have taken shots at me, but it wasn't as bad. Yeah, he's not writing full expose tweets on me and stuff. So that's good. Yeah, so be careful with that. And I don't know, dude does kind of scare me a little bit because I want to say unhinged, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out who some of these people are. John is always mad about people hiding behind masks like Cardiff and Tukey and the Dabbler and things like that. I can't believe I'm seeing these names out loud. Anyways, but it's okay for Muttering John to hide behind a picture of John. It almost makes you think that John is Muttering John. But, who knows? That's interesting. That is a mystery that we need to figure out who that is. So I'm going after Cardiff, and let's find out who Muttering Jay is. And I'm not trying to, don't do that. Don't do anything. Let's just chill.
Fans he tried to befriend me, which he did on Twitter, said he's a Photoshop guy. And I was having a Twitter war with Anthony Cumia. So I asked him if he could make me a Poxy 5, because I call him Pocky or something.
Thanks, yeah.
And he did.
Witty.
Unbeknownst to me, on the box, he put a swastika that was very hard to see unless you really looked. I posted it. Okay? And then when I realized, at first I thought he was trying to call Anthony. Again,
when someone gives you something, look at it before you post it. So this is kind of something that I've learned as a broadcaster in the real world. I work in television and such. I'm a reporter, a sports anchor. I do all that. Anything in front of a camera, even behind the camera, I can do. You look at what you send in before you send it in. You don't just send it in, John. You look at things before you broadcast them because it goes back to you. So I don't feel bad for him when it comes to this stuff. So anyways, yeah. That's what that's about. I'm a little frustrated with that. You always look at what you broadcast. Just put it out there. And he learned from that too. And he got that one video when a homegirl was making some rather terrible noises and things were coming out of her. Yeah. So let's keep rolling.
A Nazi. But then I was like, I don't know. I'm taking this down. I took it down. Then Muttering Jay has just released. It was Shuli that was organizing this scheme behind my back, had the guy do it, and then Shuli, Bob Levy, and Silent Mike Morse, they decided to then tell people to report me on Twitter because of this product. Now, that's one. It gets worse. Muttering Jay now has released 2 different instances of DMs by Carl, which are the following. The first one was, hey, Muttering Jay, can you release this? So he wants to use Muttering Jay as his surrogate. I have an inside source that says Stuttering John is fighting with his realtor because his realtor wants to lower the price of his house. Okay.
Who cares?
What?
Who cares? Why is that a big deal? probably should have shut up and let him keep going with that. That's my fault for interfering with it. I probably should have just shut up right now and let just keep going. But again, this is from 2 months ago, so a lot has changed since we've come from here. So I don't want you to think this is what's happening right now. This is his breakdown from November of when his reasons for hating Carl and Shuli.
Carl said because it's going to drive John crazy on how I got this information. He's trying. This is targeting. This is targeted harassment. So when he does that, then Muttering Jay didn't do it because he thought it was wrong. But he started to post these things. But the really odd thing
is, like, is he talking to himself? Like, if he is Muttering Jay decided not to. Muttering Jay, I can't do John as good as you guys can, but like, it's like he's talking through the persona almost. Like, it's like maybe they are the same person. That is the mystery. Like I said, so I'm going after Cardiff, and let's figure out who Muttering Jay is. Just kidding, don't do that either.
Is that my realtor is my friend from the pub, and we both work at the same real estate agency, and we both.
You were a realtor. I remember that. You were saying that. Yeah.
Yes, and we both had a target. I fucking passed the real estate exam first time. It's not easy. I aced the CBEST to become a sub. Not easy. Anyway.
Inside.
So then you have now that's one thing. And Muttering Jay doesn't release it. Now he just released another one. Carl saying that I owe my attorney, Michael Popak, who sued Sirius,
right?
That I still owe him thousands of dollars. What?
Pro bono, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it pro bono, but I did have to pay for all the filing fees. It cost me like $4,500 out of my own pocket.
God bless.
But now.
Do you think he paid that? No, I've heard things that he did not pay that. I do not know. I don't know what the facts are. All I've heard is what people have said, and I believe I saw it on Who Are These podcasts, that he did not pay these fees, and therefore Polpak cut communications with him. But I didn't confirm that with John. I probably should have with this, but I'm kind of just breaking this down for you so you know where he's coming from. And also there's another side to it as well. But I can't substantiate that unless you hear from Polpak. But from what I understand, he's kind of radio silence, which is probably smart for him as well.
Carl goes, post this. John shafted him as usual, and he then blocked Popak's email address and phone number.
Okay. Yeah.
All which is untrue. Well, so Muttering Jay is targeted. It's really targeted. This is targeted harassment of me, and he continues to do it, and it's got to stop because
why? What happened with Shuli?
My kids.
Yeah.
Why
is he doing this?
What?
Why? I'm trying to get to the root of the problem. Where did this start? I mean, you guys worked together. I thought you were friends. I mean, I know it's hard to be work friends in an environment. Where did this start? I mean, you guys worked together. I thought you were friends. I mean, I know it's hard to be work friends in an environment like you were in. You and Shuli.
I never worked with him.
Oh, okay. That's my fault. I don't know the complete Stern history. I wasn't a super Stern guy. I listened to it every now and then, saw private parts. But I thought they had kind of like John was working and then Shuli got there and then, John left and then Shuli continued on. So I was wrong there. And then John rightfully corrected me. But I do believe, obviously, John was the call screener before Shuli was. And then John kind of gate kept but opened the door for him as he made it in. Shuli became successful-ish, and maybe that pissed off John. And I assume John had left by then as well. So again, my Stern history isn't perfect, but that's why I kind of broke it down. And then John's going to kind of fix it for me right here. I assume John's telling the truth. You're right. You guys worked for the same employer is basically what I was getting at. So y'all weren't friends as you departed? Or, I mean, tell me, I know there was like two different like phases of the Howard Stern show and stuff like that. And y'all were different from each other. But where did this come from? How did this start? I don't get it. I remember you went to try to see him one time, and then there was a Hitman Dan thing and stuff like that. So this has been bubbling and bubbling and bubbling. And
No. It started with just the way I said it. Okay. Shuli was struggling after he really got fired from Stern.
Okay, cool. So now we're hopefully we get to the bottom of all of this, and John explains where this hatred is, where it's bubbled from, how it's going, what it is. All right, here it goes.
I mean, in other words, they gave him an offer that he had to refuse because they cut his salary so much, so it wouldn't even be worth coming to work anymore. because he wasn't, come on, he didn't contribute all that much to the show, and besides weighing two guys' shits. So all I'm going to say is, where does this all come from? Jealousy. This is jealousy.
From who? Who is it jealousy from? Who? Where did this come from? Who is the one that's jealous? That is the question.
And as far as me interviewing Shuli, we were going to go there to interview anybody. Wasn't the two questions I asked him were not targeted at him. They were targeted at Howard. They had nothing to do with him. But he ran away from me, called security, and then I goofed at him for doing that. But I also DM'd him and said, Shuli, I just want you to know, it wasn't intended for you. It could have been anybody sitting there from the show. It could have been Richard. It could have been Sal. It didn't matter. It was just whoever was sitting there. You happened to be the only idiot sitting right next to the elevator. And that's the truth. So, but Shuli's not doing it because he hates me. Shuli's doing it because he has managed to make a living doing it. Because when he was fired from Stern, he tried to do his own podcast and got 200 views and was dying. He was making no money. When I say dying economically, he was making no money. So then he decided, I gotta make money. And then he asked Carl permission. And then he started this Uncle Rico horseshit. And then from there, it just keeps going. Now there's about 10 to 20 shows.
So that's kind of interesting. Do you think Carl was the one who said, yeah, go ahead? Like it was Carl's, again, gatekeep. He's like, come on in, Shuli. You can do it as well. I think Shuli was already doing this to begin with. Maybe he saw Carl do it. You know what I don't? Maybe I'll ask him. That would be cool. Shuli, if you're out there, I'd love to sit you down in front of my audience of me and talk to you about this. If you had time, that would be awesome. I don't have $500 though to give you, but 10 minutes. I don't know how much that would cost. Anyways, let's go back to these idiots.
All about me. Listen, I know I have a degree of fame, but I mean, they're much more famous people than me to goof on. But they do it because, A, I'm interesting, and I'm charismatic, and I am goofable. I mean, Howard Stern showed everybody that he can goof on me, and it could be fun and entertaining. And Carl Heberger, Heberger,
there it goes again. He's just trying to weaponize me right there to make sure that I know exactly how to spell Carl's name. So when I go after Carl, I have his name properly into my magic journalist bag of tricks. I'm going to go after you. Anyways.
Is a wannabe Stern guy. So he decided, hey, I'm going to be like Howard and goof on Stuttering John. I reacted, unfortunately. And now Carl's just continuing to goof on me. And unfortunately, it continues to go on because then it extends to my family. He posts on his Patreon the MP3 of my audiobook. I have to contact my publisher. Then he says it's fun to goof. Oh, also we goof on Stuttering John's kids, and it's a lot more fun than you think.
I think there's a lot that went back and forth there before it was just going after kids. Oh man, bringing in the children, and then they're not kids anymore too. They're adults now. And then like the one that reached out and did the story on about being food insecure and stuff like that, and then saying that the journalist was the one who misspoke and was incorrect. Get out of here. That's a USC School of Journalism. That's one of the best in the nation. You're telling me that they're the professors that grade and go through all of these stories and stuff like that, and they're producers and editors, they didn't look at it one time? Get out of here. That if you put yourself out there like I have, you can get clowned like I have been. And you make yourself public. You're public, homie. It is what it is. And if you're out in the public, they can film you. They can go and talk to you. That's called life. Those are the rules and the laws. So slow your roll, homie.
He's called my kids fucking losers verbatim. He's also posted pictures of my daughter and trashed her and said she looked like Baba Booey.
And just recently, you posted pictures of Carl's family members that are experiencing cancer, going through treatments and stuff like that. What? No, man. This is ridiculous. It frustrates me because some of the comments that I got on the first video is how angry you guys were getting when listening to him kind of paint the narrative. But what he doesn't know is I know the story already. I know the backside. So you're not hitting me with anything. I'm picking up what's being laid down. And I already know. So I'm kind of it's like you give them rope to either pull themselves out of a hole or to hang themselves with. And it's your decision. I'm very equal opportunist. I'll help you out, or you can, again, destroy yourself. But it's all on you. And if you tell the truth and do it right, then you're good. But if not, well, boom. So again, and that's why I'm sharing this interview as well. Plus, it's fun and I like it. But you can kind of see where I got my pieces of the story from, the story that I did. When you go back and watch that, I didn't just make things up. I didn't say what I said. This is what John said, and this is what led into it. So here we go.
Although that would be an insult to Baba Booey. And these are the kind of attacks that they have levied against me. And it's not right. And when people say I'm playing the victim, I'm not playing the victim. I am the victim. Yeah. Because I didn't do anything to any of these people at all. I put Shuli through on the show all the time if he had something good to say. Never had an argument with him. Never had nothing. Didn't even know who Carl was. Unfortunately, I do now. Never had a problem. KC is a lunatic, speaking of addicts, and he is just falling apart if you watch his show.
Okay, so this interview came out. I did the interview like a day after those Anne-Marie allegations came out about that stuff. And in this video, John and me talk about that for like 10 minutes, and he asked for it to be taken out. And so out of respect, if you don't want something on the record, I get it. Even though we were already interviewing, I'll still give that to you, unless you've done something terrible or something like that. And with a rape allegation, it's substantiated, and then later we find out that it was retracted from what I understand. I'm glad we do it this way. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful. You can't just, throw stuff out there, and John is right. And I'm glad that we did it properly. And I don't know the whole story. Again, I don't know Casey that well. I don't know Casey at all. Actually, I don't know any of these people. But I don't watch Casey is basically what I'm getting at. So this is a little bit more as we go.
You will see an unstable man.
Where does this end? How does it end? This is the question that I really want to get to. Exactly. How does it end? What's the last step? Is it going to be a death, or is there going to be a fight? Like, are we going to have a heart attack? Are we going to shoot each other? Like, we're going to meet in AC and it's going to go down? How does it end? This is my favorite question of the whole interview. And it doesn't really give me a great answer. I think he tries to get out of it here in a little bit. But I don't, like I said, I like this part. To me, it just seems escalating.
Well, this is now the worst.
Bad to happen, but I don't know where this stops.
Well, it keeps on escalating.
Yeah, I know it.
The next thing is going to be I tried to murder somebody. I mean, let's face it. This is going to be their next thing. And this is the kind of, it's been going this way all along, and we've seen it coming. So now, how does it end? I went away for 8 months. Well, I tried to get out of it. Did it go away? No. So now I'm off from school all summer. I couldn't get a summer school gig. I don't want to dip into savings. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm setting up my brand new house that I bought with my own money because they lie. I want to let everybody know these things. They say I need supervised visitation with my kids. False. They say my car was repossessed. False. They say I got a DUI. False. They say that my mom bought my house. False.
I don't know about some of that. You're looking at the paperwork. Looks like her name was on it. So some of these are not adding up as to the knowledge that we know. But I guess we'll give them that one. Again, I like being able to let John speak and give his opinion on what he sees and stuff like that, because maybe that is what he believes. Maybe he does see it that way. Maybe someone needs to help him understand it's not that way. But sometimes people get so old in their ways that they're not going to change, and they're not going to see the right way, and they're not going to adapt. I don't know. But, like you say people don't adapt, but John knows how to use DoorDash. John knows how to use the internet. John knows how to stream. He should be able to see these things. He should know what he's walking into all the time. I don't have the sympathy that I think he's trying to get.
Say that I forget what.
I do like the college ring, though. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but there you go. Hey, good job, boy.
other thing, like I'm fighting with my real estate agent. False. It continues and continues and continues, and they make these false accusations with no accountability because they're anonymous. Then that comes out, and then Carl could say it happened because it's on the hate site known as Reddit, and then they can continue.
Hate site known as Reddit that you look at every single day, that you have multiple accounts on. They have sock accounts, burner accounts. Come on, man. Like, again, like, he's trying to play me for a fool. And that's what frustrates me with this interview. So I'm not dumb. I know what you're doing. So anyways, let's just keep rolling with it.
This spewing of hatred directed at me. And it's not right. Well, and it's wrong.
I want to go back to something from the first interview. I love it when they say my name in the say my name. God. When they're talking back to you, like the celebrity knows you, and that gives them points. If you are ever being interviewed, say the person's name that's interviewing you, and they'll like you. That it's a very, to me at least, I'm like, yeah, what's up, man?
It shouldn't.
But then I'm also like, you might be lying too. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to be too nice to me, that I don't trust you too much.
Shouldn't keep going on, but unfortunately it is.
Do you have Cardiff Electric's docs? I gotta know.
Do I have his real name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. I love Cardiff. Like this is where I'm trying to bring up these guys to see, what he has with them and kind of have fun with it. But yeah, I hate that he's trying to do this. And I'm like throwing up these videos of who he thinks he is and things like that. That's so rotten. It's like he's trying to I don't want to use a Santa Claus reference for people that believe in Santa Claus, because I do too. But if you were to say there was no Santa Claus, then that's kind of what John is doing. And like, he's trying to take away from the magic that it really is, like trying to figure out who Tukey is, trying to figure out who Bedabbler is. That I do want to know, but I don't as well. I just enjoy the magic of it, the enjoyment of it. If they're making you laugh and smile, let them. If they want to be anonymous, let them. There's reasons for that. People are crazy out here on the internet. They want to do wild things to you. They want to chase you down, follow you, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't want my family involved in that. I don't even know why I'm doing this to begin with, too. I don't have a big family, so I guess it's easier for me. But I do have a career that I'd like to protect, so I try to keep it cool. But this is fun. Good stuff.
And today I announced on my show that I just canceled the gig that I had in Rochester.
Oh, no. Wow. That's terrible news.
Because
man, I wish you could have made that work. I think that's a genuine reaction too, because that was this was the day, I think, after he did it, or the day he did it. So I just found out. I wasn't going to go to Rochester, but I was excited for this. I wanted this to happen because it would like make him accessible to the public and to the people, and maybe just to see what would happen. That's probably a bad thing on my part. That's me wanting things for myself. But regardless. This is my personal opinion. It means nothing. But if you could have leaned into it, John doesn't give a damn. You look at him right there. He's just like, nah, I don't give a shit what you're saying, reporter. But I guess it's fair. So, here we go. And this is kind of big stuff. I shouldn't have interrupted this. John, I think you could have made money, man. I think people would love to come and see you.
Unlike Shuley, I don't need the money as badly as he does. I already have two.
That's good extra income.
Yeah. Who wants to go to the armpit of New York, known as Rochester?
That's fair.
Now, I was going to go in the middle of winter.
Yeah. No.
And I was going to go because my mother's birthday is March 12th, and I wanted to,
So I'm glad he did that, but I wish he wouldn't have done that. Like, do not give your family's docs out there. Don't say your parents' birth dates. Don't say your parents' names. Don't say your birthday, anything. People with that information can open identities with you. They can they can raise heck with you. Excuse me. Do not ever give out your personal information like that. That is dumb. Don't even tell them what zodiac sign you are, because people will look you up and do devastating things to you. And he just does it like that. But that's the part where, John hasn't evolved. John doesn't get that part. John does not understand the internet like we understand the internet. And that could be an age thing. I think that truly is what it is. So that's where this is coming from.
To surprise her in Lamont. Yeah. But the reason why is because Vinnie Paulino, who had a text agreement with me where he said,
textual agreement. Hey, I do that too. It just sounds like testes. It's in a testy agreement. Anyways,
because I asked him, I had two requests: do not let Shuli or Carl into the venue. He said they are on the no entry list. Then when we got into a little squabble because I accidentally tweeted out, I'm watching Carl.
How do you accidentally tweet something out? Okay.
And these other four losers, I included Carl twice. He thought I was talking about him. I apologized. He got butthurt, and then started to trash me. It snowballed, and then he starts to say, not only is he going to bring Carl in as a VIP, and Carl's going to sit next to him, but he's going to allow Shuli to come in too, and he's going to do a show the night before at the club with Cardiff Electric trashing me.
First off, this is where Carl is from. He knows the owners of this is his town. This is Vinny Paulino's one of his boys. What do you think? He's going to get in a bet with them and they're just going to crap all over Carl? It seems like John was trying to get into their scene in order to get at Carl and try to turn everybody against Carl and then throw Carl out or stop him or who are these podcasts kind of thing. Yeah. That's what I think he's doing right here. This is that badge on that we don't like. You know, this is the part that infuriates you when he does what he does. So
now, Will, are you going to show up to that kind of hostile environment?
Yes.
And then you have on Dabbles Anonymous.
Yeah, man.
They're all saying,
man.
Yeah, I bought the first two rows, and we're all going to heckle John. And then you're like, what am I doing? You know,
I'd still show up, and I'd make the money, and I'd whip out my you-know-what, and I'd swing it around. Oh, that's like, yeah, right, come and get it. I'm right here.
Yeah, well, you know what? And then they're going to take me.
Don't get to the spot. But no, man. Well, get in there. No. Show them who you are. You're the celebrity. They're not.
I know, Will. But anyway, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Because I want to get out of here.
No, is there anything that you would like to say I did not ask?
No, I just,
So these are that's a question that you ask at the very end of an interview. If you ever are next to somebody getting interviewed by a real journalist or something like that, or a TV journalist or a broadcaster, that's what they say at the end. Is there anything that you would like to say that I did not ask you? That just in case they wanted to say something that we came there for, or that they had on their mind as well that maybe I didn't know about. That's where they say that. That's where you give that. When I interview politicians, I get a lot of when I ask them that question, were you trying to get me into something? You trying to goat me into something? There's something I don't know. I'm like, no. I'm just trying to explain to you. Is there, what did I miss? Is what that question is about right there. And then my favorite response is when people say, no, that's about it. And they go for another hour or something like that. I think John does that a little bit here, but I think I got a little aggressive there towards the end. And I think that's why he wanted to get out. When I'm like, you should do this. And he's like, nah. But I also think that's advice he's been given before, and he just doesn't want to hear it. And when he doesn't want to hear something, he runs or he goes. And that's my breakdown of who he is with my psychology degree. I'm not a sorcerer, but I play one.
Oh, I think it's time that all of this goes away, although I don't anticipate it will, unless I decide to walk away again. But quite frankly, Will, it's become very profitable for me.
Good.
Yes, I'm talking very profitable. So it doesn't make sense for me to walk away.
It don't make dollars. It don't make sense. This is one of the things I always quote when John talks about money in people's chats and stuff like that. So if you see me say this, this is where this comes from. This is where this comes from.
And because I'm making really good money.
That's fantastic.
Yes. I mean, let's say 6-figure money. So it doesn't make sense for me.
Yes. Super chats?
Just YouTube and my pension, and Patreon and, like everything. If you add everything up, I'm doing fine.
Okay, right there. So, Susanna, there is child support issues. Don't tell the world you're making 6 figures a year, John Boy. Man, you have, oh, goodness. Again, that's part of that doxing thing where you don't tell your birthday. You don't tell your mom's birthday. You don't give their maiden names. You don't tell people how much you make. Because they will come for that money. That's what people do. That's what the world is about. You dolt. You frustrate me when we do stuff like that. So dumb. And this is why you bring it upon yourself. This is why people get mad. And when they try to help you and you don't listen.
So that's why I don't need to work in the middle of winter in a shithole known as Rochester. I don't want to work a shithole.
Principality of the matter.
Huh?
No, good. The principality of the matter. Get in there and be like,
principality
hey,
is Vince.
I got a show. What do you got to say? I'm here. I'm not backing down. I'm not running away.
Look.
Doesn't want to hear it. Doesn't want to hear it. Doesn't like it. You know what? Maybe it's advice again he's been given in the past and it doesn't help him or whatever, but
I apologize to my fans. But that's it, Will. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate. I don't want the whole Anne-Marie stuff.
Yeah, my word.
All right. Thanks, Will.
So how do I get there? Are you going to email me? Okay. So that's basically the end of it. Let's go to me mode. Ooh, God bless. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching this and kind of getting to the end of it. If you actually did, you rock. Yeah, good stuff. You know, things are pretty wild right now, ever changing. Hope you enjoyed this. Maybe we'll do some more of this a little bit later. I'd like to talk to some more of these people in the Dabbleverse. If you are available, I'd love to pop you on and kind of pick your brain a little bit, see what you think about this, where you think this is going, where you want it to go. Yeah. So I enjoy myself. And thank you to Caught Up Electric. Again, you were pretty much the guy who got me connected with John. And then, you know, there's other people around there. Thank you. Without you guys, that wouldn't have been possible. So you were aces in my book. And if I can ever help, please do. I'd like to do more stories for television from this Dabbleverse. I just I have to kind of connect it to Louisiana or specifically the Lafayette, Acadiana area. That makes it a lot easier. But they are letting me do like web series and things like that regarding this. So I can definitely pop in from time to time with these to kind of talk about, you know, what John is doing, what the Dabbleverse is doing, the meetup in AC. That'd be kind of interesting too, to kind of promote that a little bit and say that, you know, they're going out for this. And I don't know. We'll see what my news director and our web director think about that. But yeah, if you enjoy it, hit that like button. If you want some more of this, hit that subscribe button. I've always wanted to do that. It makes me feel important. Oh, shout out to Carlos Danger as well. Thank you for subscribing. You're like the most famous person that subscribed to me. And I haven't got any chats, so I don't have to answer anything. You guys don't jump in a lake. But thank you very much again. I had a lot of fun. I hope to do more of these. If you have any cool stories, reach out to me. TV's Will Heron on the Twitter, on the X, W Heron, WHEREN at KADN.com is where you can email me, or cornerofthesun@gmail. So yeah, that's my socials, my digits. So again, thank you very much for popping on. Sorry I didn't comb my hair. I do have hair though, so I'm very lucky in that department. Maybe you shave a little bit too. Kind of frosty. But again, you all have a great day and thank you for popping in.